Hey you guys, yes, with another video, Beauty Bar, episode 3. This is season 1. Let me just say this. This is, even though it's episode 3 and everything else, it's a new show. I think it's based out of New York, called The Dollhouse. It is a spin-off of I don't want to say spin-off, but it's a beauty shop, a salon that also turned up with a twist and have very colorful characters in there. And I think the owner is maybe Dominican or something. I really don't know. Um on like what's their nationality and all this other stuff or whatever. But let me just get to it. From the owner and the co-owner, I guess Henry and Tess. What I must say, Henry gives me life. Okay. He just have an aura about himself, and I just like how he carry himself. Um, Tess, she's all about the money. She's good with the books. Henry is also a stylist as well, and he has a celebrity cop clientele. Okay, so V, I think she's Dominican too. I don't really want to mess people nationalities up, or if they Puerto Rican or Dominican, but I guess we could say Latino descent or something like that. I don't mean to offend nobody, but she's something else. She is a firecracker, okay? She's also a lesbian. She's a great colorist. She colored this girl hair. One of her clients' hair was pink. She added purple to her roots, when I tell you, and I think to her ends as well. Beautiful, beautiful contrast. I was like, oh my gosh, she's really good at what she do. But sometimes V is a little turned up, and we on our third episode, okay? But this time she turned it down. From what I know, Talia, she's a beautiful woman, transgender, and when I tell you she's gorgeous, she give you that Kardashian feel or whatever. And some people can say like they don't think the Kardashians is cute or however, but that's still America's I want to say reality show royalties, if we want to say. uh but yeah, she give you that feel with the full lips, the big booty, all this other stuff, giving you an exotic look. But and who else on the show? Henry, he's a sweetheart. And I just hope that he continues to stay a sweetheart. Talia, when I saw episode 1, because I missed episode 2 and I just dived into episode 3, um, was my first love. Because she was giving me the look and everything else. But something happened on episode 2 where she's being a little messy. And I'm going to bring in these other two. Um, it's Rail and it's Princess. And they're the black ones in this crew. They're the new kids on the block. I think Princess she's originally from New York, but she went to Atlanta and everything else. And her friend, they do hair. Real is a guy. He's a gay guy. And they live together. They roommates. And, that's her best friend. She go hard. He's her best friend. Well, evidently they fell out behind Talia. And so on this episode, it just showed that Talia was being a little messy. And she recorded everything that happened between Princess and also Rail, which I feel like that was jacked up that you recorded it and you gave it to Henry, who is the owner of the salon. Like, this is what gets me with them. I guess that a client was there and it got physical. That's what they said, but I didn't see the physical part. But it got too real up in there, and Talia felt like that, she was afraid something was going to happen and everything. It's like, Talia, stop. You was doing the most. And it didn't have to go that far. Like, it ended up being to whereas they were getting suspended. I could say all day that Talia was wrong for that, but Real and Princess was wrong as well. Because it is a place, what I know about stylists or whatever, in a salon is totally different from corporate world. you have different creative people, and sometimes they don't understand professionalism. And it goes a little further than the corporate world, But we have some unprofessional people in the corporate world too, and stuff pop off. But I know that from dealing with salons and also dealing with the corporate world. Had both the best worlds, and I understand it. So I felt like that Talia, if you could have put a lid on it or whatever, you didn't have to record the whole thing and take it, because at the end of the day, they still your coworkers. They're gonna be looking at you funny, knowing that you the snitch, and snitches get stitches, okay? So you have to be careful with that. Also, she owned up to it because Real wanted to have a meeting with her and everything else. And he thinking that, he's trying to create allies in there and, trying to build friendships because they the new kids on the block, and some people are getting the feel, getting rubbed the wrong way, like V. I think V is a beautiful girl, but V is too much at sometimes, okay? But Henry suspended them. And he was like, well, there was a client there and everything. But she was like, that's my client. But I just felt like this. Wilton College was very unprofessional. V was very unprofessional when Amara La Negra was there. And she's a star. But at the end of the day, she still was a client. And he did not suspend V for clowning in that the way she was. I guess that was good for the ratings. I don't know. But I feel like it was very uncomfortable and it was very unprofessional. But if y'all ever saw episode 1, like when Amara La Negra was in there, I guess that's how you say her name. She's a very beautiful girl who was also on a reality show of Love and Hip Hop of Miami. But everybody kept saying, she was saying that wig was real. I mean, her hair was real, the afro, but the way the girl was doing it, I kept saying, now her afro too perfect. That cannot be all her hair. They was arguing me down saying that was. But I find it very funny that if it was her real hair, then her real hair should have been smoothed down. But it was like they kept like kind of cuffing it and then pinning it. If that's her real hair, we should see her edges. You never saw her edges on the mohawk, okay? So to me, it clarified that was a wig. But I am on episode 3. So Princess and Real end up getting suspended. So they have this Halloween party or whatever, and they trying to decide if they should go. But let me back up. Real end up meeting up with Talia to find out what was the motive and everything else. And I guess, she owned up to it. First of all, she came, her coat, her jacket was everything with the fur. She was giving me life with the shades, and it's like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Ain't no sun out, but I get the look. So she sit down doing the most, and then Real was like, maybe she mad because she had to buy to be fish, but his friend is already a true fish. She was born as a fish, so they set Talia off. And I get it, because I guess that was trigger for you. And I noticed that she doesn't want to, from episode 1, maybe episode 2 she came out. But I noticed on episode 1, they was trying to get her to say it, but it was like little clues, but she didn't really want to come out and say. She was like, well, they don't have to be said or this and that. Like, let people learn on their own. But it's like, sis, we know, and it's okay. You're beautiful. But, so they really made her mad that, and she was like, well, she was too girders. She was too girders. It's like, okay, Princess may not have the money to do all the cosmetic things that you've done. But why you got to bring up girdles? I'm sure that if she got her work done, she won't have to use them girdles no more. So it just left me in a like, I don't know, Talia, I'm not feeling her this week. The first episode I was. So maybe things will change. But what gets me is that Real and Princess decided that, maybe they could still go to the party, although they are suspended from the shop. And that's another thing. I feel like that was why did you take money? You didn't have to mess up their money like that. They not working. That was very shady. So they go to the Halloween thing. She comes, Talia comes. Well, first of all, she was touchy, and I don't know if that was her friend or what she was talking to or whatever about people portray her to be one way, and she's really a loving person, but yeah, but your actions are leading in other ways. You seem like you have good qualities, but your actions, your triggers are leading you to seem like you a little messy boots and you a little snitch, and that's not a good look. So, her friend was trying to comfort her, and she was like, "Yeah, and I got a pretty P," but I'm like, well, what they got to do with anything? But if that makes you feel liberated, I guess so, girl. So, Rhea and Princess decide that they were gonna go to this Halloween. So, I don't know who Rhea was supposed to be, Zara or whatever, but he had some hair like this, but I'm for sure it was like real bundle units and everything else, and a mask, and Princess had on her little get up. I think she had a cat suit on. So they decided to go. They wanted to confront Henry about coming back, which I feel like that when they came, it was very awkward. The energy was off and so forth. So he was like trying to let Princess know this ain't the time for that, which is true because I'm looking at her, and then she tried to like attempt like to plead her case. He was like, not right now, Princess. Like tonight, you could tell like, hey, he is in his costume. He ain't trying to deal with worse stuff right now. He'll deal with that some other time. There's a place and a time for everything. I was like, maybe she never worked in a professional setting and don't know how stuff go, like with protocol, but that wasn't the right time. So I'm gonna get that. Maybe she didn't know better. But another thing is V and this other girl, I guess they were trying to hook up, and I was just lost. Like, who's the boy, who's the girl? Because V got a low cut, she cute and all. The other girl, I don't know. It's just like it was just so weird. But the girl ended up giving her flowers. Got a big picture of her grandmother for her. Maybe she shared some things that to me, I feel like she's such a firecracker and she's been hurt. That's her defense mechanism. Like, I'm Billy Boy badass kind of situation. But at the end of the day, the girl did like the horse carriage thing or whatever around New York and was just being considerate. But V also keep talking about this ex that broke her heart. But she invited her ex to this party. If I'm not mistaken, this Halloween party. So she tonguing her down. In my eyes, I did see tongue action. And, she like, I can't help it. She just such a badass and all this other stuff or whatever. It's like, you know what? You rather go to toxic than try something new. And some people like to be comfortable in their mess. It's just what it is. And it was so disappointing. And I'm just like, that's the typical people most people are. You rather, even though you know this person, even though this other person showing actions that they could be good for you, instead of trying the new stuff out, you still trying to get with the old stuff that left you heartbroken. I don't get it. So I feel like that she's a lot of damage because she was like, the girl just took her heart, broke it into a million pieces and all this other stuff. But that's the same girl you hooking up with. And I'm just like, child, please. But that's that. I really like the show. I'm going to be paying more close attention to it now because, like I say, I'm pretty well, I want to see where it's going to land. And I root for Princess and Real on there because they are the underdogs. And it's not just because they are black in I guess a Latino Dominican shop or whatever, because that's what they look, and they probably have other black employees, but I just know them to be the two on the show. And I just wanted to see how they turn up, how the shop is, and it just seemed like that. So far, it's a good cast. They have some drama like any other place. And let me know if y'all watch the show, what y'all think of it or whatever. I'll be here for next week. Okay? But until then, I want to hear from y'all, and I'll see y'all later. All right, I holla.